Hello everybody, I've got something new for you today. This is your typical bushcraft knife. It's a no-name since it was handmade by some guy I don't even know. It was available on amazon.co.uk, so I presume it's not available in the US, but I just thought it was worth to mention because it's such a good value for money. This is basically very good quality sheath, as you can see, really thick leather, and I love the dangler on it, double stitched with spacer here so you don't cut your stitches, your seams, and yeah, it feels really nice and sturdy. And what we have here is the typical bushcraft knife blade shape, and kind of a Bushlore clone, I suppose, judging by the handle. It's not tapered tang, but it's a full tang knife with really nice walnut handles, walnut scales, and this is a O1 tool steel blade, really hard, throws really nice sparks. I'm actually going to demonstrate this in a minute. Well, I just talk about this, but I can show you. So, enough talking, let's see what this thing can actually do while cutting. We're gonna do some feather sticks, and later actually gonna do some meat cutting and see what it's worth when you actually have to cut up some meat. Okay, so before we start, I just wanted to mention that this isn't the original shape. I mean, the grind has been reprofiled. I did this because it was a little too low and the angle was a bit too shallow. It's not perfect still because it takes a lot of time. It's a really tough steel, and it just wasn't sharp enough for me. I mean, it was sharp, but the cutting properties weren't exactly what I'm used to. So it still needs to be improved, but for some reason it cuts wood really well anyway. So let me show you. This is a piece of seasoned willow. It's got this shape that Morris Kohansky often mentions, that allows for those nice curls to form when you cut it. You may think that willow is a soft wood. It is soft wood. Well, maybe it is when it's green, but not anymore. Yeah, so this, as you can see, is fantastic. I was going to show you how it batons, but then I thought, screw that, this knife is just too pretty to baton with. Although I have done it, and it can be done. Yeah, so because of the shape, it's not my favorite shape of the blade, this curve with this belly in the middle, so it's kind of like a cradle. I don't really like that because it's difficult to sharpen, but when it comes to feather sticking, it's probably the best shape you can get. Right, so as you can see, there's no question about that. Now, right, let's cut up some meat. Okay, we've got our meat and the knife. Mind you, I'm definitely not an expert in cutting up chickens and processing meat and things like that, so this is definitely not a tutorial on how to cut up meat. If anything, this is going to be a tutorial on how not to do that. But we don't have to be experts in everything. as long as it works. So this unfortunate guy has his legs tied up. Okay, let's see. You obviously don't have to do it. You don't have to skin a chicken when you process it, but I just want to try this out, how this would work. This nice shape. It actually does a really good job, as you can see. As you can see here on the close-up. Because of this curvature here, you can actually adjust the angle of how deep you're gonna dig without scratching the meat or wounding your dead chicken. Yeah, so as I say, this is not something that you have to do. I'm just doing it for the demonstration purposes. But since we're at that, it's actually working pretty damn well. So I'm going to take this skin off, because I'm after the breasts anyway. So yeah, with this chicken I'm actually going to take everything there is to eat, including its legs, but I'm only going to show you how I do the breasts, because you don't need to see everything. So, very nice, huge chicken. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling the bone already. So. Well, it looks to me like we've done a really good and quick job. Let's go for another one. There's the sternum. I'm gonna cut right next to it so we don't lose too much meat. And go underneath it. This is a pretty thick knife, so it's probably not ideal for this task, but I mean, it's a bushcraft knife, right? So it's supposed to do a lot. They're still attached. It's a little slippery. There we go. That's it. Job done.